So does anybody know what this means?
Direct denial of service.
Distributed denial. Yes, it is a DDoS. Okay, so what DDoS means is that, say for instance, we have our lovely site. This is the Mento site. It's the site especially for the mentors, yeah? It's the big Mento site. It's this one. Hello chat, can you see this? This is what it's gonna be, okay? What's gonna happen, okay, if we have some disgruntled mentors, maybe we have Evil John slips in, all right? And we have our lovely mentors. All right, all trying to access our site. But Evil John slips in. And what he does is he actually slips in on the infected devices that he's got around, because Evil John is evil. He's not just got his own PC. He's got all of these people's PCs, because he couldn't get a job in and around tech anymore. So he had to do home repairs and all of that sort of stuff. He infected them with malware. And what he's doing is each one of these people are coming through Evil John, all right? And the site is running on a little EC2, because we only need it for the mentors every now and again. The EC2 reaches 100%. Now, we can't stop that traffic because these people, they don't even, pardon me, they don't even know that they're doing this, right? This is bad traffic. And all they're doing is just sending packets and packets of data constantly. These guys, they're literally the back and forth here, maybe like 5 megabytes. Is going for terabytes of data back and forth. You know, this is Mentor One. This is Paul Bennett. This is the PB sandwich. Okay, he's on there all day. It's only really 5 megabytes of data because it's all cached. It's fun, but he's putting some bad traffic in. That is the sort of part of DDoS. It's a distributed denial of service, so you can't track where it's really coming from here. You know? Does anybody know of any ways to be able to get around this? Any ways to be able to go and protect ourselves?
You use something like Cloudflare.
WS shields. Yes, D will. We need agents of shield. That's right. So I'm just getting my notes because it's been a little while since I've done this. Yeah, we have our lovely little shield, right? But also, is there something else that we can use? Is there any other services? Because don't forget, we're at professional level now, so we have all these professional level disasters. Okay, so we have the user coming on to our right. Okay, so we could employ our shield. Okay, is there anything else that we can use? Anybody got any suggestions? A firewall, yes, Raymond, you're on the right path there. What is the AWS service called that employs the firewall, that has that firewall within it? WAF. Reza, you got it. Yeah. And we can also use things like WAF. Yeah. We can use things like WAF. Perfecto. Cool. Now, to understand this little part, you're going to need to know a little bit about the layers that we all kind of go on to, all right? Now, there's several layers to what happens here. We have 7 layers. The ones that we're really going to pay attention to is 7, 6, 4, and 3. Now, can anybody tell me what layer 7 of our network is? The app, yes. So the app here lies at our 7th level. Adam, yes. We'll get onto those in a minute though, okay? Cool. Can anybody tell me what layer 6 is? Presentation, yes. Is this the OSI model? It is. What about layer 4? TCP, UDP, transport, yeah. It is the transport layer. And now, can anybody tell me the final one that we're going to deal with today, which is level 3? It's your network, yeah. Perfect. Okay. So what we can do, right, with things like our shield. Can anybody tell me where shield may well lie? What layer is shield here? Where does this represent? Oh, layer 4, you think? Okay. Layer 7, not quite layer 7, no. Yeah, so it actually covers 2 layers. So it actually covers layer 4 and 3. So it covers the transporting of data 2 and 4 and actually protects our network. It shields that entire thing. It reset usually 3 and 4. Perfect. This is that shield standard. Now, shield standard covers 3 and 4. Can anybody tell me about the cost of shield standard? It is free. It is 100% free. There's actually no reason not to use Shield. And I think AWS have it this way. So there's some free security that are allowed in your account and around your applications and in your network and all of that, because they want you to be safe. Okay. But yeah, so that's what it does there, which is cool. It protects against these common DDoS attacks, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be chucking all of this bad stuff into your site. Shield will go and protect that. Yes, Aaron, it is indeed. It's 3K a month. It is not cheap. So yeah, what cloud will do is it will actually protect you against all of these bad actors trying to DDoS you. Okay, what Shield will do is it will go and mitigate against that. It's the automatic defense against most common network and transport layer DDoS attacks at any resource in any region. What it does is, what layer is white? Godson, that's a good question, and we are just about to get onto that. Yeah. So what Shield will do is it will go and monitor this traffic here, all right, and it will go and look at it, and it will be a bit like Among Us, where it's trying to find the wrong thing here. It's trying to find the imposter. That's the right word. Yeah, trying to find the imposter, trying to find the wrong data. It will go and mitigate all of the bad traffic with proprietary packet filtering. stacks using suspicion-based scoring. Now, I do want to take a step away from all of this for just a second, because at the end of the day, those of you, is there anybody here that that has done cybersecurity before? Is there anyone that is versed in cybersecurity? Yeah. Is it just Domatembi? I think AJ, you also did a bit of cybersecurity, right, bud? Yeah. So those of you that are already here, you know what this is a cat, a mouse. Okay. The thing is, there's always going to be a new exploit. There's always going to be something more around it. With your security, 3 lines of defense. Yeah, 3 lines of defense, AJ. That's good. Good, bud. But what you don't understand is that, like, well, okay, you guys will, but what a lot of you won't understand is it's a cat and mouse game. All right? The cat, a bit like, yeah, I literally took the words out of, I saw that pop up as I'm about to say, a bit like Tom and Jerry. Yes, no worries, Adam. Because what's going to happen is, there's a little mouse hole. The cat goes and fills the hole. The mouse goes and finds the next hole and makes it bigger. Am I wrong, for those of you that have done this security thing here, that the mouse is always trying to find the next hole to breach? Trying to find the next vulnerability and the next part of this, yeah? It's true. Security is very, very hard to anticipate against. It's why things like ethical hackers exist, because it's down to them to find this and tell you about it. But that's a little step aside there. Do want to make you all aware. Trying to find all of this is the biggest thing, right? Right? Okay. So back to where we were going. Okay. The next thing is our WAF. Now, our WAF, where do you think this is actually going to lie? Can anybody give me a guess? Level 7. Yes, that is right. So our WAF is at level 7. It's at the web application layer. It's all about the HTTP floods, the DNS queries, right? So what it really is about here. It's also going to do some things at level 6. Because it stops SSL abuse or the encryption presentation layer. Now, I can actually show you, because I have a handy dandy website. Has anybody seen my handy dandy website? Does anybody know about my handy dandy website? Say aye if you know about it. On S3, yeah? Yeah. TommyHudson.co.uk. You can go to this website, okay? Yeah, I've seen it before. I showed up, okay? Now, there's certain things within this site. Okay, so if I go to other here, can anybody see what this says? Or do you want me to zoom in a little bit? Just the login page part here. Easter eggs, exactly. There's certain exploits that you can go and put into your well, I say put into, actually mitigate against. There's certain exploits that you can do within HTML and CSS and about web apps that do anything like SQL injection into login pages to go and show all of that. Good ways to mitigate that is being secure against them. All right. I have a login page. It's charlyhudson.co.uk. Oh no, it's not. Why is it automatically gone and done that? That's not what we want. It started writing my email there. There you go. Oh yeah, it's charliehudson.co.uk. It's ilovetractors.com. Yeah, it is. That's right, Andrew. That's right. But yeah. So there's actually a lot of things you can do on here. Now, what you can do to protect, and the whole reason I'm showing you at this point, okay, is for this. So at this point, what we can do at level 6, which is our presentation layer, is actually do some encryption. Now, I have got all sorts of things in here. Now, I'm going to give you all a little bit of hint. So anyone that is here tonight, the 60 of you that are here tonight, there's some certain things in here. The page prefix is in here somewhere. Okay? There's certain things on this site like cryptography and all sorts of other things where you can learn about encryption, about crypting it, cryptography. Yeah, you can learn a little bit about that on this website. Okay? But the page prefix for all of this is on my site somewhere. On this particular page, on the Python. All right? But you're going to be able to go and find the address of the login page, and that is all I'm giving you. But there's certain things that you can do like that. So you need to watch what you leave in your comments, in your code. Comments in your code are never a good idea. Well, actually, no, they are. They're a brilliant idea, but you need to be careful with them. Don't comment into your code, hey, the password is this. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Do it over secure lines. Do it as over a verbal communications. Because the likelihood of you being bluejacked is not very high. They're not going to be able to go and hack into your phone very easily. But you know, especially if you don't leave the house, it's okay. But level 6 is very, very good. You can go and encrypt your data back and forth. It's why you use SSL certificates to encrypt all of that data. Yeah, cool. And you use WAF. WAF does lots of good stuff. It's highly configurable and scaling, and you know, it's highly configurable and scalable. I can't talk today, and scalable. It's a firewall built in the cloud for cloud. It provides the first line of defense for all of these incoming threats. Can anybody name any other features here? So maybe if I had and like this, make this a little bit. Not quite geolocation. Begins with an L though. It's GOL something. It's GOLO something. Actually, the first 3 letters there. LOC. Reza, can you get it? No, no local post. It's GO.
Is geographical?
Anybody? Come on.
Is it
Oh, someone gets it. Reza, you might get this one before anyone else.
Yeah.
Come on.
Is geographical? Can't pronounce it now.
What does that look like? Geolock. Yes. What you can do is actually restrict regions. Maybe I don't want any traffic coming in from Russia because there's been a slew of hacking coming from there. It's not good. Maybe I don't want it from the UK anymore. Maybe I don't want anyone from the UK to go and access this. But what you can do is you can restrict regions, and you can fully go and restrict that within WAF. Now, I am going to show you that a little bit because what I have is my handy dandy site. All of this is done on AWS. Let me just go and log in. Let's log into business. Sure, Aaron, but I mean, again, Aaron, what did I say earlier? What game are you playing if you start trying to be secure? Do you remember? I think you missed that bit. If you want to start being secure, it's a cat and mouse game. The cat fills the hole. The mouse finds another one and makes it bigger. The cat fills the hole. The mouse finds another one and makes it bigger. And then this is the cat and mouse game. This, Tom and Jerry. You can go and restrict certain places. It will do a lot of people. And because there's people that aren't exactly tech savvy, they won't think, well, I'll just go and make a VPN. It's fine. There's a lot of people in the world that really don't understand the way computers work. You lot are in a very unique situation because we are teaching you about the cloud, about how computers really work, about all of these services, mitigations, and all of things like that. Yeah, like streaming sites that only allow certain regions. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. It's like as well with PlayStation Network, the PSN. They only allow certain regions. They've actually just blocked 177 different. They block 177 different regions, and they within their profile go and say if you use a VPN to go and create an account, you will be banned. So, like, it's all about cat and mouse game. There's still people that do that, but the moment they slip up and are found, they are banned instantaneously. Yes, coffee soon, AJ. I'm just coming to the end of the point and showing you on my account it is. So if we go to CloudFront and have a look here, we can actually have integration here. Is it behavior? Oh no, it's in security. Yeah. So if we have a look at the security tab here, go and edit this. I'm going to go and edit this for a while. Yeah. So that's what it costs. Estimated costs for what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For 10 million requests a month. How much does it cost me to run my site on AWS? Let me show you. Per month is this much. That's take transcribe out of there because I did it. It cost me $1.26. I bought the domain, so if you see here where it says others for $9.04, this is like 4 cents of extra things I was doing, as well as domain service. So I bought my domain for $9. That is for the year. I bought 2 domains, as you can see here, but that's for the year. $9 a year. Divided by 12 plus 50 cents for Route 53 with your domain. And with S3, I actually pay for S3 because this account's over 3 years old now. So, I'm actually paying for storage, and actually I pay less than a cent, but they round it up to a cent, which is, fair. Best place to buy a domain. Ever see this place before? There you go. Oh, I'm 26 less than you. Well, you're a technical account manager. Wait, you've got developer. You've got enterprise level. Will, you're paying for enterprise support? Oh, okay. I was about to say, dude. What? You really baffled me there. You got me good. That's a good one, Will. was a bit concerned. But yeah, I am. It's because I leverage all of these means and methods. To be honest with you, would you actually be surprised that I use more than just S3 as well? Like, you can see all the services I use because I've bookmarked them all here. S3, Route 53, CloudFront, organizations, as well as API Gateway, Lambda, DynamoDB, IAM, and SNS. I don't know why SQS is still on there. SQS. I didn't want SQS anymore. I didn't need it for what I needed it. But yeah, they're all the services I use. There you go. But anyway, we got well off topic there. The point of this is that you can do, included property protections, block IP addresses from potential threats based on Amazon internal threat intelligence. That's a really good thing. Protects against malicious actors discovering application vulnerabilities with WAF, and protect against the most common vulnerabilities found in web applications. So it shuts down a lot of things that were already going there. Like with my site, I haven't turned WAF on because of what I have on my site. If I did, all of this exploiting that you're going to be doing wouldn't work, because they're pretty common exploits. I wanted it to be fun, so I put it on there. But yeah, there you go. So for now, what I'm going to say is let's go and have a coffee, because I also need to go and do a little bit of a drink. Okay. So what happens here? My recording. Yeah, we go. But yes. So where we left it off was we were looking at WAF. That was right. Here, yeah. So WAF. So you can go and you can restrict regions. So geographic restrictions. You can actually go and do that. You can have an allow list. So you only allow from certain countries, or you can have it as a block list where you block certain countries, which is really, really cool, right? Does everybody see the benefit of using WAF now? Yeah. Is there any questions over what I've been through? I do realize I've kind of plowed on and plowed through the actual part of it. But yes, is there any questions covering anything that I've covered today so far? Just before we move on to the next part of things. Well, WAF was level 7, and it helps with level 6, Michael. I do believe so anyway. It helps with those things there. Yeah. So the benefits really of WAF are that, it's frictionless setup. You don't really need to do an awful lot with that. There's low operation overhead. So, I mean, there's not much you need to actually do for that, as well as the customizable security, so you can restrict those regions. And it's all automated. It's all API driven architecture with WAF. So it's really, really cool. That's right. That's right. That's right. Sorry, I'm just looking on my notes because I've got a few other things I want to talk about with WAF. Mainly about what it can integrate to. Now, you've just seen me do one of these, but if we had the user, let's say, going on to our WAF, what else can, so what services do you think WAF can actually go and hook itself into easily? Can anybody give me a ELBs? Yes, elastic load balancers. Or just load balancers. We'll just call them load balancers for this one. My diagram. I had a diagram of this where it was. Right, I'm copying my notes at this point. I don't do WAF very often on the secure side of things. I'm just making sure I'm giving you all of the best information for this. This one? It's this one, yeah. So yes, load balancers. Load balancers can be hooked directly into WAF. So WAF goes out and puts this straight through to your, basically it interrupts the middle there. So it filters all that traffic through the WAF, puts it to the load balancer. Anything else? I just showed you one of them as well. Anybody guess? Begins with a C and an F. No, content filtering is what it does, and we'll get onto how it does that in a moment. CloudFront, yes. Now, CloudFront actually has a full-on integration system to all of that, so you can hook it and attach it straight onto there, which is really, really cool. And there was another one that, for the life of me, I can't remember. There's 3 that I had. Maybe this was something different. Okay. But yes, there's actually quite a few. Looking at my notes, so there's a lot of other things here. So you can do it into a load balancer. You can do it into CloudFront. Also, there's another one here. Yeah, there we go. API gateway. Yes, the API gateway, because you can go and protect your APIs. Now, there is one certain thing you can do, and the one I found this best, or Cognito as well. Yeah, you can use it in Cognito, and Sync, App Runner, and AWS verified apps instance. So there's quite a few there that you could do this to. But the big ones that you would probably run into on a daily basis are these here. Cognito, as well as Sync. If you're using apps, AppSync's a good one, or Runner. We'll add it as a bolt onto that one. And then VAI. What does Cognito do? Well, Cognito is actually a really good service. From what I remember of it, it's hang on. Let's actually look at the full documentation. Schwartish, shall we? Yeah, it is. Identity and access management. Yeah. So what it would do is it hooks in with things. So have you ever seen before on a website? So what one could I do? What one could I do? What do I have? I don't have anything here. Just try to log in. Wikipedia login. Does Wikipedia letting me? Yeah, so Cognito does sort of no, that's Federation, isn't it? Yeah, no. So what Cognito does is it's flexible authentication. It allows you to sign in directly or through a social enterprise identity providers. So with Cognito, you can do things like Google, Facebook, and let me see the actual ones you can do here. Anybody tell me any other ones that we can use for it? It's federated identities. Yes, there's Facebook there. What are the other ones? I can't find the other ones on here. Can you just log in with Spotify now? Features. That's what we want. Federation. Amazon can trust social identity providers such as Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon, and enterprise identity providers. Here we go. Here's a nice one. This is the lot, and here is the link directly to that page. This one took a second to go and find, but yeah, what you're able to do is actually go and sign in with federated users. Yes, as well as creating that pool of users as well. But you can actually go and take the pool of users from somewhere else, and that's where I find its best benefit. And that's why I was trying to look for a login page there, because it was the login with Google, login with Facebook, login with Amazon, and all of that. Yeah, Amazon login, as in Amazon.com. So, like, have you ever gone to go and actually, I think there's one here. This one, Filmora. So this is video editing software that I use because I do a little bit every now and again. Homepage. Yeah. So it's already asking me. This is Cognito in work. So it's already asking me where I want to sign in, and I can go to sign in, and you can see Apple, Facebook, Twitter, PayPal, even, or you can actually go and create an ID. This is with them. I'm not sure these guys use AWS. I haven't really put any research into them specifically, but that is one way of doing things there. Or you can use it to go and pool your users so that you can do self-registration, identity score. Either way, this is way off topic. We're looking at more WAF and security-based things. So Cognito is a little bit later on down the line. But yeah, it's a good thing you can do. Now, with everything, you kind of want to be able to go and see what's going on, right? You would want to go and see, well, what's being accessed? How is it being accessed? Why is this being blocked? And how is this being blocked? Why do you think it's their fault, right? Is that something everyone would quite enjoy? Yeah? No? Will, Rizza, do you think you would want to go and see why WAF is acting like WAF acts? Yeah? Well, you can actually go and do that. Now, you can use a lovely little service called Kinesis. What Kinesis allows you to do is actually go and stream to logs. So you can stream the information using Kinesis data streams and actually go and put this in a log bucket. And these logs are all in JSON. So they're nice and easy for you to read, which is really, really cool. Now I've lost the page of my notes. 1 second. Let's do data note. On modular head now. What's the difference between Kinesis and Kinesis Firehose? They're different features. That's about all data in transit and stuff like that. But yes, that's right. Cool. Now, there is another part to this. There's another thing that we can use here. And it's all about how WAF decides what we want and how we want it. Typically, what would you do if you wanted to block access from someone? Where would you put all of their information? What you would do is you would go and put it out into this one little thing in WAF, yes, but WAF on its own you can put these rules in, but there's some specific service you can use alongside this. Well, I'd say service, more of a feature with ACLs. What you can do is you can actually go and hook an access control list up to WAF. You can go and say in there, actually, this access control list, I want to go and block all of these entries, but they can go and get data out and all of this stuff. And you can do this for specific services. So you can create an access control list saying that in your load balancer, it's open. In this CloudFront, I'm going to cache this static page. It's nothing really there. We're going to put this open. But you might have a back-end service. So you might have a CRM service that goes and has all your client details and everything like that way off, so your back-end users can do this on the same domain. What you can do is you can have things like AppSync and Runner and the API gateways go and block public access via the ACLs. So to make this squiggly octopus of WAF make a little bit more sense, I'm going to draw it out a little for you. You'd have, say, your user here. All right, your user goes through your WAF, and then it goes out into the CloudFront endpoint. And then there would be a load balancer that balances out towards all of your dynamic pages. And then this goes out into your API and as well into, say, your applications and app. If we look at the workloads that might be going on here, is that the API actually goes and sends information to App Runner to go and see if clients are potential clients and taking their information to go and contact them. So what you would have is this would go back to your back end. All right, but then you might have a front end where you use CloudFront to cache your static pages that don't need to change. And then you have compute in your back end under your load balancer. So you divide up, but you make this highly scalable, highly, what do you call it? You make this really dynamic. You make it really good. I'm lost for words at the moment. Brain's got a bit foggy. But what you would do is you would have these open and be fine. The ACL for this is open. But for this, you'd have it all closed. You would actually close all traffic only from the API itself and maybe from your users. Not users, from your staff. Okay, so your staff log on and they log on, and I'm actually going to do this in a different color. Let's do it in a nice yellow. So your staff log on, said yellow. There we go. Your staff log on and they're able to go and do that because the ACL accepts it. The staff can go and access the main site because it's open. Users, on the other hand, and we'll do users in a red, they can go in, no problem. Go in and access all your stuff, but you're able to go and track that away, go and say, here, it's all coming through WAF. And what someone might do is you might have a bad actor, someone who's not a user, someone who's bad. They're trying to DDoS your place. They have to traverse through the WAF, and even if they get through the WAF, they only contact your front end. And there's things you can do within your front end to go and mitigate that. But again, they're not allowed into that back end at all. They're not even allowed to see it. They're not even allowed to go and make requests. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, nice. Okay. WAF is quite a big subject. And to be honest with you, I'm not doing an awful lot of justice. So let's go and actually have a look at WAF and Shield. Oh, okay. Is this the old? Go to AWS WAF. Ooh, this is still on. They haven't updated this one yet. I wonder when WAF's going to get an update. Because we're still on blue buttons, not orange. Yeah. Introducing the new AWS WAF featuring AWS WAF v2 API, improved console, cosmetic rules. Try out the new one. Oh, okay. There we go. I was just using the other one. Yeah. So what you can actually do here is you can create these ACLs. You can do it for CloudFront distributions, regional resources, so application load balancers and all of this stuff, which is really, really cool. Bot control dashboard. Oh, there's lots of stuff. How it works. Allow you to block bot categories. Yes, this one I've actually seen quite a lot of. Because what happens is a lot of the time bots will go and just scrape your website. So if you go into here, this is my CloudFront distribution. What I'm able to go and see is report analytics. Go and see my viewers. I can go and see who's viewed this. I can see that I have 10% of my traffic on this website is a bot crawl. 71 requests. What you can do with WAF is actually go and block all of these requests. You can see what time of day they're on, how they're doing this. I actually added a bunch of new pages on this day, so maybe they've created an API to go and find that. This is me being suspicious. But yeah, that's cool. So you can go and block that thing from doing. So you can go and, if it goes and says bot crawler, you can go and wipe that and block access from that immediately so that no one's going and scraping data from your websites. That's cool. Yeah. And having a look at the metrics, pretty cool too. Where are we? Where are we? There it is, bot control dashboard. And visibility. View bot availability, access to your resources, view the mitigating actions taken on various bots. Nice. Application integration, so you can actually use JavaScript tag listed below to include. Oh yeah, there you go. There's lots of things with WAF. WAF's pretty cool. IP sets, resources created under the AWS WAF Classic. The table of IP sets shows all of your existing sets. You can search for set. I mean, go. What do IPs? There we go. Yeah. Oh, it just opens that. Okay. So yeah, I suppose this is where you can go and create IPs that you either allow or block. So if you want to block specific IP ranges altogether, you can go and do all of that. And there's lots of things here. AWS Marketplace. You can even go and buy IP sets and security bot protection rules, common vulnerabilities and exposures rules. Wow, okay. So you can actually go and buy all of this stuff from other people as well. Other people have gone and set up all of this stuff and gone and done a lot of legwork work here for you. You can just go and mitigate that already. That's really nice there. There's a whole marketplace for you to go and buy this stuff. Perfect. Okay. Is there any final questions before I move on to the advanced shield? Anybody? No? Cool. It's pretty self-explanatory with WAF. It's just a firewall. It stops things from getting set alight and getting lit. Perfect. So, let's not do this in red. Let's do it in line. So shield. Advanced. I always call this Shield Plus, because Advanced Plus, it's the same in my brain. My brain works the same. So if you hear me refer to this as Shield Plus, it's just me being lazy and not wanting to say Advanced. Is everybody okay with that? I don't think there is actually a thing called Shield Plus. I think it's all just Shield Advanced. But yeah. So one of you said earlier how much Shield Advanced costs on a monthly basis. Can anybody remember what they said? So let's cost per month. Anybody remember? $3,000 plus the load balancer costs. Yeah, the plus cost of everything else that you're doing. Yeah, of course. But yeah, 3,000. That's $3,000. And this, it's a subscription service here. You're subscribing to this per month as well. So if you need to use Shield Advanced, make sure you need to use Shield Advanced. If you're doing things in your own account as well, it's not worth using Shield Advanced unless the application or whatever you're designing needs that. It's really not. So yeah, I really want to get that across. All right, it's really one of them things that you kind of want to do as a last resort because you are getting targeted by hacktivists or something like that, or getting DDoSed daily and all of this stuff. Okay, so during attack, Shield Advanced automatically deploys your VPC access control list to the border of the AWS network. It's really, really easy to configure, comprehensive, and this works in near real time. I think there's a delay from Shield Advanced of 5 seconds. That looks like 5 seconds. So between activity spiking that's very, very malicious or suspicious, what happens is within 5 seconds of that event happening, you actually go and it will deploy more resources or create ACLs and all of that. And it protects you against economic attack. So I haven't really spoken about this. Does anybody know what an economic... Does anybody know what an EDOS is? No. So an EDOS means an economic it's an economic denial of service. So nowadays, what you're going to see is that we have highly available architectures, right? So we're a lot of you are doing it. Who was it that earlier that was saying about the load balancer and yes, Will, that's it. Overloading your site that will cost you this. Yeah, Kev, there's another thing there. It is the next biggest threat because if you have your architecture like these, where you'll have your backend with your database and your read write, will go out to a nice little no, hang on, it won't go like that. It will go out into your EC2s. Got an auto scaling group here with your load balancer. So this is your architecture, and this all goes back into here. All right. So this is a common architecture now. So you've got this on an auto scaling group. So if you hit more traffic, what happens is it just creates another EC2, another EC2. Okay, until it fits either your quota of, say, max 10, min 2. Okay, it'll either hit your quota or your wallet. Because what's going to happen here is if I start throwing data at your site, if I start throwing packets at your site, it's going to go and boost this. These EC2s are going to start running hotter. They're going to consume more resources to handle all this data. So it's going to deploy another database. Sorry, another EC2. And then it's going to deploy another EC2 because it's still scaling up and up and up. And then another and another and another. What is the factor here that they're getting at? How much is this going to cost you? This is an economic denial of service, right? So what you can do here is instead of, we've already mitigated against DDoSing, but now we have EDOS. We're going to be paying through the nose for all of these instances, or maybe even in these containers where we're scaling these containers endless, right? That is an EDOS, economic denial of service. What AWS Shield enables you to do is actually protect against that. Okay. What it does is it enables you to use WAF at $0. And it's cost protection for scaling. So it actually protects you for that costs. If it shows that this was illegitimate resources coming to you, where you've had a bad actor that come on and decided to go and EDOS your site, you actually get protection of that. I think I'm not quite sure 100% on what they do. I think it's that they just refund you back the money for all of that because you're paying for Shield Advanced. All of this, if they can go and say, well, yeah, that was actually a malicious attack to your site, that from that time to that time, we're actually giving it all to you free, other than the standard costs for your standard site, which we all get because we know your metrics. We've been looking at it for the past however long that you've had a website. Yeah. Is that okay with everyone? Or do you have questions? Good, good, good. Now, the next part of this is also with Shield Advanced, the metric side of things. So it will gather CloudWatch metrics. So it can show you all of that stuff really, really well. It'll help you diagnose attacks. So you're actually able to go and diagnose where this was coming from. You probably have it in conjunction with WAF. I'm not even going to bother showing you on the dashboard because I don't want to pay $3,000. Thanks. Well, $2.5 grand. Not today. Not for a few years probably. But what it actually enables you to do is go and diagnose where it is. It will probably integrate with WAF, where it will go and say, okay, with these particular IPs, these are actual IPs that were okay. We've now put it on a list, updated your access control list, and we've now mitigated against that altogether. They can no longer access your site. You're okay. You're safe. Also, another thing that I found really, really, really cool about this is that at the end of all of this, right, they give you a yearly breakdown. So like at the end of the year, you can be like, oh, look at where we were last year, and now look at where we are now. If you use Shield Advanced, you could probably go and use that to go and say, hey, this is what we did. Like during the month of July, we had really good sales because we had this thing going. I mean, you could probably use it for them analytical things. You could probably pump this into QuickSight as well with the metrics there. What do they go out in? Does anybody know what the actual metrics go out into? I suppose it's just going out into an S3. So you could probably hook that into Lambda for events there and just go and say at the end of the year, I'm going to go and push this into there. We need a lot of malicious Lambda invocations to make it worthwhile. Yeah, not even Lambda D-Will, because this lays, like we said, with Shield way back at the top here. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Yeah. Shield runs at 4 and 3, so that's at the network and in transit level. So, I mean, there's Lambda functions, EC2 traffic, load balancer traffic, all of that good stuff. So it involves all of that. It's all about your network at this point. So you get all traffic, as well as APIs and all sorts. Yeah. And then, as was already discussed, like it's detection and mitigation, it's faster mitigation because at 5 seconds. Oh, this is another cool thing. Okay, they actually have a team for responses. I found this really cool. So they have a response team that is available 24/7. So if in the middle of the night you get an attack and you get all of this, yeah, no, they go and do all of this. And with this team, they actually have proactive engagement. So they're actually able to be proactive about any attacks or any stuff going on, anything that Amazon themselves has got. I'm spitballing it here. We don't have much information on here on my for advanced, but my notes. So let me go and look for this. No, it's not Shield Plus. Proactive engagement. With proactive engagement, the Shield response team contacts you directly when the availability or performance of your applications is affected because of an impossible attack. Oh, there we go. That was it. Yeah. So if you're getting attacked, the team goes, "Hey, bud. Yeah, you might want to go and have a look at the site. It's you probably trying to get hacked and they're trying to DDoS you, bud. Wake up. I know it's 3 a.m., but you're being attacked." They will go and contact you. They will go and do that. It's great. I'm not sure it's phone calls. It might well be an email or something like that. Remember this engagement model because it provides the quickest SRT response and allows the SRT to begin troubleshooting even before they've established contact with you. So they've actually already done this before they're even establishing contact. That's mad. I don't think I ever actually looked at this page when I did this. So yeah, we're all learning a little bit today, but really good stuff, Shield Advanced. Can you see why this is now going to cost you $3,000? Because like I'm running out of space with the word. It prevents DDoSes. It gives you CloudWalk metrics at the end of the year as well, and it's attack diagnostics. It's cost protection for scaling, all sorts of things like that. Right? Yeah. Yep. So it goes to like you said there. It was. That was it. Okay. I've just been through that. Nice. So I've also got the slides coming on as well. But I like to draw it out. So yeah, CloudFront, really good. Not CloudFront, Shield Advanced, really good because it goes on to your load balancers, CloudFront, Route 53, Global Accelerator as well, and as well as actually goes into your Elastic IPs, which is really nice. It covers you in all of that. Best find resources for Shield Advanced. This is all about the best practices of, but we can go through that. So the best practices of actually using Shield Advanced. So we'll call this the best BP, not to be mistaken with Paul Bennett. That's the PB. This is the BP. So the best practices with that is actually specifying what resources it needs to protect. So if you've already got WAF denying lots of stuff here, so if you have your architecture where this is the front end that goes and hosts your site, and then you have the back end here, which goes and hosts your CRM, databases. But this one has WAF on there with the ACLs saying that WAF is only going to allow into this IPs from your staff, but this is open. Kev, have a good one, bud. Yeah, but your front end site is open. Would you have Shield Plus go and protect both of these? Or is it only worth protecting the front end at this point because the back end is secure? There's nothing there. You've got the web application firewall. Only the IPs of the staff or of the office IP can actually go and access any of this at all. Would Shield Plus or Shield Advanced be better off just serving the front end? Are we there already? Are we at 10 o'clock? Geez, I didn't get through all the material. This is a huge subject. Yeah. Oh, we've actually only got a few more slides left. Bam. Oh, we missed out Firewall Manager. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip on to Firewall Manager because this one is actually a really good one. Only going to take 5 more minutes if everybody is happy with that. I shouldn't have spent half an hour talking about exams and all that stuff, but hey ho, we'll be okay. Let me just go and auto scale horizontally scale my drawing applications. Here it is. So we have all of these servers, right? We have WAF, we have Shield, and we have organizations as well. Well, what if we have like all of these things here? These are all separate entities, right? Everyone agree these are all separate things. You're going to have to go and set them up separately. You might go and put Shield Plus, which includes a little bit of WAF as well. But like these are separate things, right? Well, what if we had an orchestration tool that we use here in regards to that? We have something called Firewall Manager. Yeah. AWS Firewall Manager it centrally manages rules across accounts. So if you had an organization where you have maybe client 1, client 2, you have your own front end, and then you have your development out in another account altogether. Okay. Is everyone with me so far in the way that organization works, where you can create multiple accounts for all of these different things? All of that there, like the 4. And maybe even then client 4 actually needs 2 accounts that you go and manage. Yeah. Is everybody okay with that, with the way organization works? Or is everybody gone? You're going down to 39, okay. Still here. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So what happens is with AWS Firewall Manager, you can centrally manage, and you can use this to go and manage across all of these accounts. and as well as all of your applications. So if client 1 has 5 apps running on one account, it can go and take all 5 of those apps at once. Each one of these will have different aspects of that, whether it be WAF using on there for all of this. It will be able to go and manage all of that at the same time. It will also be able to go and do something. Okay, so you know, with organizations, we have the SAPs. The SAPs, the organization rules. We have the organization rules. What we can do is we can actually ensure compliance to mandatory rules across the entire organization as it is. We can go and say, well, okay, maybe we have a gov org. We can go and say anything within this organization has these rules. And you can get that all through Firewall Manager. And maybe there's something else that doesn't need a stricter rule, so you're doing that. What it will also do is say, if this new client comes in, so we have client 5, and we'll call him Clive. Clive comes in, client 5, all right? But they are outside the scope or anything like that. What it will do is it will go and put an alert up and automatically discover that and remediate these non-compliant events. And it will go and make them comply. And, you know, as is always, it's active rapid response to attacks across all accounts. So it works as if it would do within one account with multiple VPCs. It's multiple accounts over one organization or multiple organizations at this point. It will make sure that all attacks are accounted for and sorted. Yeah. What I'm going to do then, so yeah, as I promised, that was 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So that was one. That was Firewall Manager in 5 minutes. What about Route 53 Resolver DNS Firewall 4? I'm only covering DDoS for today. Yeah, today was only DDoS. I think that actually comes up in the next module, so you may well be doing this next week with whoever's doing that. Cool. All right. No, thank you all. Thank you all for sticking around. It's been a lovely session. Did loads of talking. I'm going to stop my share because my voice hurts. I've done so much talking in the past 3 weeks. It is unreal. I've done nothing but talk. Lots of clients to talk to. It has been wonderful. No, I mean, it was a bit sporadic. I didn't do much studying up on it, which is bad of me. But this is all snap knowledge, so this is good. It teaches me stuff. Get some sleep. Yeah, I'll try. No, have a good night, everyone. And I will see you all when I see you all. Be that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, maybe even a Tuesday, maybe even if you hit me up on Discord. All right. Have a good night, everyone. See you later.